Shaw, Luka Doncic got traded, and with Luka Doncic being traded, it caused a concern for the Dallas Mavericks because their fan base put caskets in front of us saying they've been saying fire Nico. Luka's supposed to got a statue. They haven't played at home yet since Luka got traded. It's coming up now. Klay Thompson predicts that boos and the weird feeling will be in Mavs' first home game since Luka got traded. And also, Jason Kidd expects the fan base to be unhappy when they play their first home game. What do you think the reaction is going to be?
Very much what they're saying. Again, Luka wasn't just the face of the Mavericks. He was the face of sports in North Texas.
Yes. He made you forget that the Cowboys played in Dallas. He did.
Yeah, and I could even probably make an argument that in the state of Texas, there's probably not a bigger professional athlete than Luka Doncic. Maybe Jose Altuve.
Yeah,
with the Astros, just because of the success he's had, and obviously them winning championship. But I can't think of a bigger athlete in the state of Texas than because Wemby's obviously he's in his second year. He still got some time, but obviously he's on the rise.
Yeah.
But if I'm not a Mavs fan, but if I were a Mavs fan, I would be.
I'm crashing out.
I'm upset. And again, the biggest issue, and again, I don't like to be overly redundant on this thing, for me is if you wanted to trade him, get the biggest haul you can for him. Because everybody's saying, this is a good move for the next 2 to 3 years. It might work. It might not. If it doesn't work, and also, let's just throw out a hypothetical here, SB, and I don't like living in this space. Hypothetically, if the Mavs win the championship this year, isn't it going to feel bittersweet?
Yeah, but it wouldn't hit the difference if Luka would have won with it, because then it'd be like we can compete for more years because Luka's still here. So if you win this one, I think they're just gonna win one and just be dead in the water after that.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, I think it's just for me, when there's a guy that you watch kind of grow up and come up before your eyes, if that guy leaves or that guy doesn't get a chance to win there, because again, you're not guaranteed to win a championship. Say he never wins one in his career. How's that, gonna look, when you talk about him in the all-time pantheon of guys? And
I couldn't imagine the shot. Imagine like this, right? As a Heat fan, right? Say if like the year D-Wade went to the finals, say y'all lost. And then the next year after the Heat made the finals, they trade D-Wade.
Right.
Y'all would probably crash out in Miami. Like, bro, this dude just led us to the finals. And look what he did in the finals. You just trade D-Wade. That's like trade Derrick Rose out his MVP season. Bro, it would be a riot. How do you do that? The Cavaliers trade LeBron. He loses to San Antonio, right? They trade LeBron.
Yeah.
After he made it to the finals is wow.
Right.
Like, oh my God. Yeah. Imagine that, bro. They traded. Give me your honest true reaction. If they would have traded, say if y'all made it to the finals and lost, and next year they trade D-Wade, what would you say? You probably wouldn't even be a fan of the Heat no more.
You wouldn't see any of this on my body right now. Yeah. Yeah. I'd be without a team. Yeah, it would be that bad.
Bro.
And again, my rule is I root for the laundry. So maybe eventually I would have gotten over it, but it would have taken some serious time. I'll just say this. There was another team that I used to root for. I'm not going to mention their names. They fired a coach once, and I was livid. And because we were so bad before this coach got there. And the coach brought the team up, and they fired him. And I should have put the team down then, and I didn't. I had another buddy of mine who did. He's like, I'm done. He said, I'm done.
It's a football team you talking about, right, ain't you?
Yes.
I know you're talking about. We ain't got to say the team name, but I know
we don't utter their names. But Yeah, so it's like that. So, but again, my big thing is if a team says, hey, we want to trade this guy, I'm fine. I have no issue with that. I understand that's the part of the business. I get it. But your job is to get the biggest return you can for this player.
Thank you. Oh my God, thank you.
And that's the part that I think probably drives me more nuts than anything. And I'm not even a Dallas fan at all. As far as that other team is concerned, we're not gonna get into it, but they're on the clock. So because he's not under contract after 2026, he has a player option, which he's going to turn down. So you're on the clock to show him you can build a championship level team around him in the next, year and a half. Because he's been to that. He's experienced that. He's been to 2 Western Conference Finals. He's been to the NBA Finals. So, whole different type of pressure.
Also, Sean, it's one thing that the Dallas Mavericks did wrong, and it's going to be a domino effect, and it's going to ruin it a lot. Because if you really notice, international stars, when they get drafted, they never want to leave.
They never leave.
This just opened the door because now, imagine, it's not like no middle of the pack player, like maybe top 20 player. This is a top 5 player in the league, and Luka is a superstar. This just opened the door to international players to be like, hey, don't be too loyal to this team. Go where you need to go. Because international stars don't leave when they go somewhere. Giannis hasn't left yet. No matter how much Giannis just learned how to manipulate them to do what he wanted them to do. Like, hey, man, I can't see Jokic leaving. I didn't see Luka leaving. And Luka said he didn't want to leave. This is going to open the door for international stars to start leaving now. They're going to start acting like how the American players do and start leaving. So thanks a lot, Dallas. So when Wemby contract come up in San Antonio, just swear they're gonna keep Wemby, and Wemby just be like, nah, I'm gonna go to the Lakers. Blame Dallas. Dallas.
And I think to that point, because that's another conversation, and certainly, I would be interested to have a deeper conversation on that around when you're building a franchise, an NBA franchise, and you got to pick one guy to build it around, don't you generally want to pick it around the guy that may have this great skill set, but the guy who generally you have some sense that they typically don't move and they don't want to leave, right? Yep. And Dallas just experienced that with Dirk for 21 years, and you do this with Luka. So it was, and while I won't, it's not apples to apples, but to me, it's literally they were like the Green Bay Packers at quarterback. That they went from Favre to Rodgers to now Jordan Love. You went from Dirk to Luka, and you have no idea if there's another type player on your roster that fits that bill. And can you get that person immediately? So it's like, okay, it's going to be hard to soften the blow of losing Luka or trading Luka, but at least you can say we got this guy that we think for the next 10 or 15 years is going to be the face and the leader of this franchise. So I digress. It's going to be weird. I think you're going to see some empty seats in the arena. I think you're going to see some fans, if the stories hold true, that will not be renewing season tickets, that will not pay the exorbitant prices it costs to have season tickets, because again, as much as you're paying, as a Mavs fan, you're paying because Luka was there, and generally you're going to get a show.
And also, as a fan of the game, I know we're going to harp on this, so we got some topic, but as a fan of the game, I think we need to have Adam Silver to start getting on, because there's a rumor, the rumor going around that the person who owned the Mavs now want a casino inside, or she want to move them to Vegas. So she's going against basketball things just to get something else that she won't do. We need to start having people who actually care about the team be owners. It's not about the paycheck no more, because as a fan of the game and for the integrity of the game, you have an owner who will sabotage their own team purposely just to get something built like a casino or move the team to Vegas? How is that fair to anybody that's a fan of Dallas? If you wanted a team in Vegas, they trying to expand to Vegas. Go invest in that team. Don't come to the Chicago Bulls or the Dallas Mavericks and ruin my team, trade my star player, and ruin my team because you got a whole other agenda. And I think Adam Silver needs to start having people on teams, forget the paycheck, who actually care about the team. Who I want to be an owner because I want the team to be like, I can look at like Steve Ballmer, right, with the Clippers. You can tell him as an owner, he cares about the team. He does. He built a new arena for the team. He tried to keep star players on the team. Now, I'm not saying that you can do a good job, but at least show that you care. Because the first thing that comes out is that we traded Luka because they want the team to be bad because she's trying to manipulate to get a casino built in or a new stadium or move the team to Vegas. How is that fair to people who've been fans of the team in Dallas?
Yeah, I mean, again, it's fighting with the state and that, for funding for public funding to build a new arena, to build a more up to date arena, so to speak. Mark Cuban, and again, I don't want to spend too much time on this, when he sold the majority share of the team, one of the things he talked about after the fact was the business of the NBA changing, that with the changing media landscape, it's going to be more of a real estate business than a media business. So the location of your arena, but also how you're able to generate, revenue with that arena outside of just games is going to matter as much, So, and also I will say, just because again, I know we got to move forward.
Yeah,
I do think one of the reasons why we're not even ready for expansion, NBA expansion, is this kind of stuff. Because until the Minnesota situation gets situated with their ownership, because I know that's in arbitration right now, and also Boston, the Celtics being on the block. I think it's softly on the block, but I do think the intention is to sell the team within the next 3 to 4, probably the next 2 to 3 years. Now you add this situation to it, it's just going to push, I think, the expectation of expansion out even further. So this is going to be very, very interesting to see and how the NBA and the governors of the NBA handle it.
Yeah, I hope they get together, because then you're going to turn away the regular fans away, and they're going to realize when they start losing revenue, which I don't want the NBA to do. We got to talk about the Pro Football Hall of Fame, because the list has dropped. It was a matter of at least like 15 people on the ballot. But, Sean, only four, let me look at it again to be exact. I believe four people made it. And the 4 names who have made the NFL 2025